I've been getting a lot of comments on the length of my hair and people telling me like it looks really healthy, how do you grow it out so long? So I came up with a list of everything that I do and some tips for you guys if you want to grow your hair out really long. And this actually only took me, I think, 2.5 years from a bob like this length. I donated my hair to Locks of Love and I had like an actual bob, and then I just decided like I'm gonna grow it out again and donate it again. So I'm actually getting really close to the donation time, and that'll actually be my 3rd time donating in 5 years. That'll sort of give you an idea of how fast my hair grows, and I'm going to give you my tips for how to make sure you are taking good care of your hair also while stimulating its growth. I have my little list and I'm going to start. So my first tip would be stimulate blood flow to your scalp, and there are some different ways to do that. The obvious way is brushing your hair. Be very, very gentle though. Make sure you have a hairbrush that either has plastic bristles, or if it has metal bristles, that it has a protective plastic tip on each of the bristles. I use a plastic hairbrush most of the time because when it starts to break, then I know that I'm being too rough on my hair. And the way to brush your hair without breaking it, make sure that you are, first of all, holding your hair like this when you're brushing at the tips, and that'll help you not pull on your scalp so much and pull hair out as you're brushing. And start at the bottom and work your way up. And I know everyone's heard those tips, so I'm going to stop there. The second thing I do to stimulate growth is I use this, which is a head massager. It looks kind of like a broken whisk, but it's actually made to be used on your hair. It has these plastic protective tips, and it actually feels really good. You just do this to your hair and you can like move it around and get different angles, and it feels so good. Head massages feel good, and this will stimulate blood flow to your scalp. The next thing you can do to stimulate blood flow to your scalp is use an actual scrub. And I know that's like super weird, and that sounded really weird to me when I first heard like, oh, you can use a scrub on your head. I actually, once in a while, I don't use this on a regular basis. I have the Garnier Fructis. It's an anti-dandruff shampoo, which I don't really have an issue with dandruff, but it's a scrub, so that kind of caught my eye. It has scrubbing beads in it, and it kind of feels like your head when you come back from a day at the beach and there's like sand all over your head, but it washes out a lot easier than sand, and I just really like it. You can do it yourself scrubs at home by taking your favorite shampoo and adding a little bit of sugar into it and then making sure you wash that out. There are several different recipes. I can make another video on that if you guys want. I do several myself. I just wanted to try this out because I hadn't ever seen it. But the next point I want to come to is don't over shampoo your hair. I think a lot of people think that you have to shampoo your hair every single day or it's going to be really gross, it's going to be really oily, and that's really not the case. Unfortunately, with frequent washing, your hair will get oilier than it would if you don't wash it as much. So if you're someone who washes your hair frequently and you skip a day, you'll notice your hair looking really gross. And that's because your hair it's accustomed to you washing it so frequently. So my advice to you would be start cutting back. Like if you wash your hair every day, go down to 6 days a week, and then go down to 5 days a week. I wash my hair every 2 or 3 days. So that's like 2 to 3 times a week, depending on the week. I just like throw my hair up in a bun if I want to just rinse off my body, and it stays nice and clean for me. Usually, I washed it yesterday, and I put like all kinds of oils and stuff in my hair, and it never looks oily or dirty, because I've been able to figure out the balance that works for my hair. So don't over shampoo. It will strip your hair of oils that it needs, and it will cause your scalp to overproduce oil. My next point is protect your hair. Don't use hair ties that have like metal in them, or sometimes the kind that doesn't have the metal will still have like scratchy things like tinsel and stuff. So try to stay away from those. Your hair is just gonna break. It can get caught and break, or it can just like scratch at your hair and break it. Another thing that a lot of people don't think about is tight ponytails. If you frequently put your hair up in a ponytail, that section of hair where you frequently put the ponytail holder is getting like a lot of rough use, and your hair will break right there. So like in the middle of your hair you'll have this like really frizzy area. That's from ponytail holders. The girl who cuts my hair was saying that she sees that a lot in people, just like right here there's like this layer of frizz and broken hair, and it's from overusing ponytail holders and from making them too tight and like really yanking on it once you have it in place. So just be careful not to pull your ponytail holders too tight, and use a heat protectant whenever you're using heat tools. And it's also good just to find like a leave-in conditioner or some sort of detangler or treatment that you can leave in your hair. My favorite is the It's a 10 Miracle Leave-In Plus Keratin, and I also have the It's a 10 Miracle Leave-In for blondes, but these are a really good option. They are a little bit on the pricey side, but they last quite a bit. You only need a few sprays per side of hair, and they work really, really well. The other thing I like to do for my hair is put in argan oil. I did a review on the Agadir argan oil. I think that one works really well. Moroccan oil is an option, but it's a little bit pricier. And I think Organics, the brand Organics with the X on the end, they have some really good options for hair care. So you can check them out. You can see what your local drugstore has as far as hair products, and you can see what fits your price range as well as your needs for your hair. And the other thing I want to say is, if you can at all, air dry your hair instead of using a blow dryer. I live in the Pacific Northwest. It's very wet and very cold, and it only takes me about an hour for this to dry. Air dryers can really damage your hair, and air drying is an option. My next little tip is to nourish your hair. And there are different things you can do to make sure that you are providing the nourishment your hair needs. My favorite thing to do is to do a hair mask. I have a lot of different ones I make at home, and I just put it into my hair. I do this like at least every 2 weeks. Sometimes I do it more frequently. But what I'll do is a day when I have a little bit more time, I'll wash my hair, and then I'll put just like straight coconut oil into it, and I'll leave it in for an hour, and I'll wash it out. And then I'll put like a little bit more into my hair when I get out of the shower, again just like on my tips. I use the Nutiva coconut oil. It's organic. I get this one at Costco. I think it's $26 for this container, and this lasts a really long time. And this one actually, if you like the smell of coconut, it smells really, really good. If you don't like the smell of coconut, I would recommend the Artisana brand. It doesn't have a coconut odor. Other things you can use for a hair mask at home are olive oil, eggs, avocados, avocado oil, and there are a bunch of different things you can use. Other nut oils are really good. I know macadamia oil is really good for your hair. That one is a little bit harder to track down and is pricey when you can track it down. So I would just recommend looking for the Organics store-bought macadamia oil treatment for your hair. Something I do want to say is there are a lot of drugstore products that are labeled like hair mask, hair treatment, leave-in conditioners, or deep conditioners that really are not very good for your hair. I used to love Aussie, the brand of shampoos, and I used to use their 3-Minute Miracle, but it actually wasn't doing very good things for my hair. And once I stopped using products like that, I began finding all these easier ways to nourish my hair that are actually cheaper. Just like I was saying, you can do a lot of do it at home, do it yourself masks. The 3-Minute Miracle, it has a lot of chemicals that really are not good for your hair, and the softness that you feel after you use it is mainly from synthetic materials in your hair. It's not actually nourishing your hair as much as it says it does, or as much as it seems it does, or feels it does. Lush has a lot of really good products for your hair. If you have a Lush near you, and if you are able to budget for their products, I know they're a little bit pricey. They have awesome dry shampoos. I really like their Retread conditioner. It's like a deep conditioner for your hair. Lush products are natural, and if you've ever been in a Lush, you know it's like kind of a little bit crazy, like the selection that you see and what products they have and the things they use, but they're all really good for your hair and for your skin. So if they're in your price point and you have a Lush near you, I would check them out. Drinking water is important. Drinking enough water will make it easier for your body to send more blood up to your scalp, because you'll have more volume in your body, more fluid volume in your body. Just don't overdo it. And take vitamins. Different diets are going to provide more or less vitamins for different people. If you're someone who doesn't really eat a lot of fruit and vegetables, I would talk to your doctor and see if you need to add a more rigorous vitamin routine to your daily intake. I take these Pro Caps that are supposed to be like for your hair, skin, and nails. I'm not very good about taking them on a regular basis, and these may not be the best thing for you. I would just see what's out there, talk to your doctor about what they would recommend for you. So yeah, take your vitamins. The other thing I take on a regular basis is Emergency, the little packets. You can get those at Costco for a little bit cheaper than you can at normal drugstores, or you can get coupons off their website. You can also ask for a free sample from their website. I really like Emergency. It is water-soluble vitamins, so your body just takes what you need and you like pee the rest out. But again, as with anything that's like medication, vitamin related, whatever, please talk to your doctor about what's best for you regarding your diet, your climate, your lifestyle. Everyone has different needs for their body. I still use a lot of drugstore products because they're a lot more affordable and they're a lot more available. But if you can use some nicer shampoos, I would look into like the Organics brand. I would look into Lush. I would also highly recommend looking into like the natural products available at your grocery store. And if you have a Trader Joe's near you, something that I recently found is this, and this is my second bottle. This is a repurchase. This is 8-in-1 hemp peppermint pure Castile soap. It's made with organic oils. It's an oil-based cleanser essentially, and this big bottle is $10 at Trader Joe's, and you can mix this with baking soda and water and create a shampoo, or you can use it just like this. I like to use it mostly just like this, and they have like fair trade ingredients. They don't test on animals. They don't use genetically modified ingredients. It's all organic. So if you're someone who's really attracted to products like Aussie because they say like, oh, we have all these like oils and it's really good for your hair, consider something like this, which has like only the good ingredients in it, and it's so good for your hair. This is like my new love as far as products go. I love this stuff. My next tip is to get frequent trims, and the reason for that, I know it's counterintuitive because you're thinking, I want my hair long, why would I trim it all the time? The reason for that is when you get split ends and breakage, it tends to have a domino effect. So like a hair will split and then it'll break off and it's still kind of broken and jagged, and it'll keep breaking and it'll keep like going up the hair strand. So if you get frequent trims to trim off those dead ends, you have a better chance of having less breakage in your hair overall. Everyone's kind of been waiting for me to approach the subject of heat tools. Minimize their use as much as you can. I use them almost every single day, but my hair isn't very damaged, and the girl who cuts my hair was like, "You use a straightener every day?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Your hair is so healthy and undamaged." Because I do all my other tips that I told you guys, and because I'm really picky about my heat tools, I think I'm able to minimize the damage on my hair because I use either ceramic or silicone coated heat tools. So a lot of, I know like the wand has a silicone coating on it, which is a lot better for your hair. And my straightener has ceramic plates, which is, the heating is a lot more even and it's not as intense, which is also better for your hair. And then the next thing I want to say is check the heat setting on your heating tools, because most people just turn it all the way up to the very highest setting, and usually for most hair types the highest setting is way too hot and it's really going to damage your hair. You can usually get away with a much lower setting and your hair will be a lot healthier as a result. So for example, the heat setting that I use for my hair to straighten it is 240. Most straighteners nowadays go up to 450 or 500 degrees, which is way too hot for your hair. Unless you have like really, really, really thick hair, and most people who think they have thick hair, their hair is not thick enough to use something on full heat. Play around with the settings, see how low you can go before it doesn't even straighten anymore, but the lower the setting, the better it is for you. One more tip that's not going to be as popular probably, just because it has to do with hair color. Minimize dyeing as much as you can. It's really pretty damaging, and I know people know that. If you really, really, really want to be dyeing your hair, just make sure that you're taking care of it. Or something you can check out is Lush has hair henna, which is a product that can add color to your hair, so check that out. So this is, these are my tips. These are what have worked really well for me, and I think would work well for most people. You might just have to play around with what works best for your specific hair type. But just remember, like, don't be afraid of not washing it every day. Don't be afraid of oils. Don't be afraid of letting it air dry. With a few little lifestyle changes, you can lead to much healthier hair. It'll grow a lot faster. Yeah, stimulate your scalp. Get yourself one of these. These are not super easy to track down, but I'm starting to see them pop up more and more places. And I know you can get them at salon supply stores. Some salons will have them for sale. This one I found at my local grocery store, which is weird. But they range usually anywhere from like $5 to $25, which is a big range. It just depends on where you find them. But I really think this was a really good investment, and it feels really, really good. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys, and I will see you next time in the nest. Oh, P.S. I have a small-ish giveaway coming up for in preparation for Valentine's Day, so be on the lookout for that. It's going to close, I might close it like the beginning of February, so that if it's an international winner, there's definitely going to be time to get it to you. So thanks guys for watching. Be on the lookout for more stuff, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.